watching News 4 San Antonio today with World Car Sky 4, the only helicopter up in the morning.
Heavy rains overnight saturated all of South Texas. This is the view of the roads as the rain rolled in late last night. And right now, some roads are closed because of water being over them.
And this video is just into our newsroom from Austin, which saw its own round of storms overnight. Flooding shut down one major road there. And our sister station tells us they've seen several fires overnight, all sparked by lightning.
And we do want to show you right now what is happening on I-10. Those are the inbound lanes. You can see some barrels there and cars disregarding the barrels and going through a huge puddle. At one point in the middle of the night, it was across all three lanes there. And it is an area to be very careful of. Again, inbound 10, just inside of 1604, a huge puddle there, of course, because of all the water. And that is not an area that usually puddles.
No.
So you are waking up to an adventurous morning commute. We are getting word that in some areas we are still seeing the water rise, even though the rain stopped a little while ago. And it is Tuesday, May 13th.
That's right. Now Albert is here with San Antonio's most accurate forecast. What's the latest outside right now?
Well, we're in a break. We're in a lull, but more rain yet to come. We already broke the record, the 86-year-old record. We blew it out with 3.5 inches of rain as of midnight. So here's the update. You can see the last big batch of rain moving away, and you can see that very distinctive line, but watch out to the left-hand side of your screen. New stuff forming. Here's a close-up of San Antonio with waves and waves of rain, and we cleared out. But there again is some very heavy rain forming down by Cotulla and Ensenal and Carrizo Springs. It is headed towards us. Rainfall totals, as you can see right there, southern end of the city, 5.6 inches of rain, 3.5 officially at the airport. Looking for more rain today, and highs, of course, with a cold front and north winds at 25, 68. So the thermometer may say 68, but it's going to feel more like 50.
Wow. Nowhere near the May we're used to.
Yeah.
And this is mid-May.
It's crazy. Yep.
All right, we can enjoy the cooler weather, but it's going to be a tough commute because there are a lot of spots you got to watch out for, and Jessica will go through as many as you can. I know there are probably too many to mention.
Absolutely. Well, the cool weather happens to be maybe our reward for getting through some of this. Take a look at what's happening live with our World Car Sky 4 helicopter in those skies. We're going to talk with Eric Johnson, who happens to be out there this morning. Eric, what can you tell us about the 10 eastbound at 1604 commute with those major puddles on the main lanes and cars just disregarding what looks to be some of those construction cones?
Well, I'll tell you, one thing that is a problem is it looks like there are a few cones that have been knocked off. So you can see there's 3 there. It looks like there's actually one missing in between those two, and that's where people are really getting into that puddle. It's a very large standing body of water, Jessica. I wouldn't be surprised if TxDOT makes their way out here for some lane closures.
And again, it looks like some of those lights may still be out in the area, so you can see these cars just hitting it very quickly. It comes upon you fast, not that they're just intentionally trying to go through those. So watch out for it. Let's take you to another area of town that's entirely closed off. 35 at Salado Creek. This is going to be a tough one as people try to travel by the AT&T Center today. Those access roads are closed off, with Salado Creek continuing to rise, even with that just very, very light rain right now. Again, you could see that it may only be a few inches thick, but we have actually already seen one car sink in one of these puddles that looks a lot like this morning. We are going to check out another area of our roads that is closed off in another few minutes with your on-time traffic.
Thank you, Jessica. We do have some breaking news from overnight. The intense storms we saw may have sparked a fire on the northeast side. News 4 San Antonio's Christina De Leon is live now with a closer look at the damage for us. Good morning, Christina.
Good morning. I talked to firefighters a couple of hours ago. We all saw it. We all heard it, the rain, the thunder, and lightning. And now they say they do believe that lightning caused the fire you're about to see. Let's check out the video. Firefighters were able to contain the flames at this home off of Fairway Hedge off Stall Road. Around 1 o'clock this morning, they were really constricted to the attic and part of the chimney. You can see all of the damage that this all caused. At this hour, though, it's not clear damage estimates on this fire. Firefighters do believe that there was was no one home when this fire started. There are no reports of any injuries. That is the good news, but that's just some of the damage that was done from these overnight storms in the height of the storm. Live on the city's northwest side, Christina De Leon, News 4 San Antonio.
Thank you, Christina. 4 minutes after 6 o'clock now, and keeping the lights on has been a problem all night. Right now, we want to show you the live look at CPS Energy's power outage map. It is broken up by zip code, and right now there are 19,000 people in the dark. Crews are out as we speak, trying to get that power back on to those homes affected.
And developing right now, a man is in the hospital after getting stabbed during an argument. It started at a boarding house on French Place near San Pedro last night. Police tell us a man grabbed a knife, stabbed the victim in the chest and the neck. Right now, that victim is in critical condition at a hospital. Another person was cut in the arm. That suspect ran off, but police caught him a short time later.
Happening today, Bexar County commissioners will consider a plan that could bring software giant Oracle to San Antonio. Oracle wants to bring 200 jobs here over the next 2 years. They would also build a new development center, and they would need a $200,000 grant, though, from the county, along with $1 million from the city. Well, today, county leaders will consider whether to put up their share of the money.
And breaking news overnight from the Panhandle, where right now about 2,100 people are in shelters as crews fight a wildfire there. Right now, that fire is about 65% contained, and officials say it looks good, but so far that fire has destroyed about 156 structures, including 89 homes.
Happening tonight, Northside ISD board members are set to meet, and one of the items on their agenda includes attendance issues. Now, the district is considering whether to ask the state for a low attendance waiver. Now, it is possible that tonight's action is related to a wave of absences last month because of an unspecified threat to a San Antonio school. Well, NISD alone lost about $1 million on absences related to that threat. But the district can recoup that money by applying for a waiver from the state. Now, we're told that the district staff recommends approval.
And now here is Albert with the very latest on our forecast. Obviously, Albert, very busy evening weather-wise, early, even into the morning, but right now it's kind of a lull.
It's a slight break, Michael, before we get more rain. 60s, 50s. It's May. It's middle May. Let me show you what's going on across the region. How much rain did we get? That's what you want to know when you're waking up this morning. Leon Valley, 1.8. Lackland, 4.1. Helotes, 2.3. Balcones, 2.2. Stone Oak at 1.4, Alamo Heights 2.9, Castle Hills 2.5, out east Windcrest at 2.2, Brook City Base 4.1, Universal City at 2.6, and the big one is Somerset with 5.1. Guys, as I said, it's a low. We expect yet more rain to come. Probably in the next hour or two, we will get another round of some pretty good rain.
All right, thank you, Albert. Coming up, our weather coverage continues. There is new video overnight of a water rescue.
And see what authorities found when a driver ended up getting caught in rising waters. That's still to come. Welcome back to News 4 San Antonio today, 10 minutes after 6. Now, what you're seeing right now, this is some new video in overnight from a viewer on the southwest side. She shot this video of lightning in her neighborhood. It was nonstop overnight. That video is just one example of the intense storms that we saw overnight.
Firefighters responded to several rain-related crashes overnight. News 4 San Antonio, Sylvia Rincon is live in one area hit hard by that rain. Sylvia, where are you?
That person went that way, turned around, came back.
We're at Stall Road and a street called Jung. You can see that there's barricades up and there's a car right there who I hope is going to turn around, because that's the message this morning, is turn around, don't drown. We can still see water on the roadway, and right now, although it looks like it may be shallow, we've walked up to it. It's so muddy you really can't tell. It could be several inches or possibly a foot, and that's the message this morning as you get out on your morning commute. Lots of low areas and low water crossings still being affected by those overnight rains. You're going to see some flashing lights this morning on the roadways, and you're going to see some barricades up. Be careful. Again, turn around, don't drown. Earlier this morning overnight, there was a stalled car at a low water crossing not too far away from where we are here on Stall Road in Bell. Emergency crews had to go out to that and recover that car. Fortunately, nobody was inside, but if police crews and emergency crews do find you crossing one of these, you could face some steep fines. It's also very dangerous, so be careful while you're out there. Reporting live on the city's northeast side, I'm Sylvia Rincon, News 4, San Antonio.
All right, thank you, Sylvia.
Looks like that driver listened to her and ultimately turned around and didn't risk it.
Do not play with the water out there on those roadways. Jessica Headley, what's happening on the roadways? The last time we spoke to you, I know World Car Sky 4 was over that puddle on I-10. What's the latest?
Absolutely. I've been crossing my fingers the same way as you guys, watching some people just drive through these, and some cars even getting stuck even at this point and having to pull their cars out of them and have construction crews come help. Let's take a look around our roads. Here are all the areas, and yes, these are all road closures right now. 410 southbound on that frontage road at Ingram. No joke here, a major puddle. I've seen cars get stuck here already this morning and sink, and they've had to pull them out. We also have high water at Zarza Moore Street at Military on the southwest side of town. High water at 35 on that frontage road southbound commute at Benz Engelman. And again, it's also on the northbound route, and they have this closed off as that creek continues to rise. High water here at 10 eastbound at UTSA Boulevard. In fact, we have live our World Car Sky 4 helicopter. Major puddle, no joke here with Eric Johnson high in those skies. Eric, tell us what you're seeing.
Well, right now we have the two inside lanes completely covered in water. And the worst part is you can see, even if you're on the right side of the road, you're still hitting quite a bit of moisture. It is going to be a problem. You can see, Jessica, that it's already starting to create a backup. That's pretty early to see that kind of stoppage on this highway.
Well, a lot more to come, especially on these main lane closures that you're seeing on the northwest side. So join us in another few minutes with your on-time traffic.
Thank you, Jessica. 13 minutes after 6, still to come. The rain did not wash away. Collect those gas cards. He's giving away more right now. He's taunting.
Yeah, that's not nice.
See where you need to go coming up next.
First, though, a live look from our World Car Tower camera this morning. Albert will show us just how much rain we soaked up overnight. Keep it here. Welcome back. Time now is 16 minutes after 6. Who doesn't love something for free? And right now, Cleto is giving out free gas cards to viewers just like you.
But you have to find him to get one of them, though. Cleto is out and about. Earlier, we saw you taunting folks. Where are you this morning?
You know, I was taunting Janie Flores, and to me, I think she has a great, leap there. You had a great leap there. I mean, she was a little tired, actually. Janie Flores, now you come every day here to Dunkin' Donuts?
I come every morning to get my Dunkin' Donuts coffee.
Now, when you come every day, you get your donuts, you get your coffee, but do you ever get a $25 gas card?
No, and that's why I wanted to jump for it.
Can I see you jump again?
Sure.
Nice.
But I tried.
Well, I tell you what, we appreciate you. Here you go. And by the way, my name is Cleto Rodriguez, and I know you watch me in the morning, and as well as News 4. And I say that because we had a viewer come in a little while ago and saying that, I love watching you every day. I mean, Bethel, you're just incredible.
But it's not Bethel.
So I love them. They're coming in. They're still coming in right now. Okay. So, all right. And Albert, so again, Janie Flores watches you all the time, so.
Now, I'm Beto and you're Cleto.
There you go. There you go. We'll make a tag team there.
There you go. Exactly.
Thank you, Janie.
Well, let's show you what's going on out there. It's kind of the calm between two systems. So we're at 60, 81% humidity. Winds are east at about 12, switching around to the north. Part of the World Car 4 zone network of cameras. Now, as I said, this is the calm before the next line of rain. We had actually two different systems approaches overnight. The boundary that's sinking north or south, and then you can see this line coming in, and it all merges right over Bexar County and then moves away. But here's the new stuff forming out towards the west. So here's, again, the time lapse as the last big storm pulls away, and the new stuff forming down by Eagle Pass, Cotulla. It's breaking out now over Uvalde, La Pryor, and all of this is also navigating southwest to northeast. So that's second line of rain. Rainfall totals, if you look at the map for the last 6 hours, you see this big blotch right over southern Bexar County. That's where we had the most amount we saw in the area. 5.6 inches of rain. We'll see what the Weather Service says officially for the date. I know yesterday we matched the rainfall totals for historical rainfall totals. Flash flood watch is still down along the coast. We dropped them here for San Antonio despite the fact new rain is beginning to form. 50s and 60s, yes, a cold front came through overnight. That was the big trigger, but we have one more impulse still to the west that is due to come in. So because of that, I've adjusted the 4 zone, mentioning scattered rain because it sits right here as we speak, and that's headed northeast. The hill country might catch a little piece of that, but for the most part, it'll be cloudy with some light rain, 62 degrees. Eastern zones are getting the edge of that big rain already moving out towards Houston, 65 degrees. And then central zones, as you see, we're going to catch yet some more rain later this morning. It'll probably come in hopefully a little bit after drive time. So rainy, and then probably just a little higher amount of rain as the day progresses. North winds at 25 miles an hour. So even though the thermometer says 68, it's going to feel colder than that. Tonight, we keep that 30% chance of rain with north winds gusting to 20 miles an hour, 55 for the low. And then after that, look at this, guys, just nothing but sunshine. We cool back down. Temperatures are actually going to line up to near normal, which is about 85 degrees. So we're getting two solid events of rain that may give us up to 4 inches of rain in as an average around Bexar County.
You know, we talked about how badly we needed rain. We just didn't need it all at once.
That's the problem. Yeah. It's feast or famine around here.
Apparently so.
Yeah. And it really is impacting some of the roadways out there.
Oh, yes.
We'll continue to watch that for you and give you updates throughout this newscast. Of course, the other big thing, the Spurs,
That's right. We are all over the Spurs right now as Silver and Black finally got an opponent in this series. Portland showed up for the game last night, managing to take control of the lead and keeping it through the night. Spurs got close in the end, but made a few critical mistakes, which cost them the game. Portland finished with the win, 103-92. Coach Pop thinks Portland had something else going for them.
Well, they did more than just make shots. I mean, they did make shots, but I thought they played with a passion that we didn't match.
So Game 5 tomorrow at the AT&T Center. We will look at what else the Spurs need to do to finish out the series a little later in this hour.
And tickets are already on sale. We'll be talking about that, too, as well. What you're seeing right now, Jessica tracking some water on area roadways. This is a view of I-10, the inbound lanes from World Car Sky 4, just inside of Loop 1604. We'll have more about this trouble spots and more after the break.
And later, Shelley Sterling responds to the NBA, the bold claim she says the league is taking to punish her for her husband's mistake.
Good morning, San Antonio. It's your Tuesday morning, and there is definitely some high water out there to be mindful of. Take a look at these main lanes live with our World Car Sky 4 helicopter live in those skies. Let's check in with Eric Johnson, who can tell us all about the traffic buildup and the danger in this particular area.
Well, thank you, Jessica. You can tell that right now we have the shoulder and the 2 inside lanes on I-10 eastbound. This is just inside 1604, and that is a huge puddle right there, a lot of standing water. And then as you continue up, you can see that the roadway is extremely wet by the reflection right there. So a really kind of a scary situation right now. There's been a couple of cones that have been knocked off, and that's creating this problem. People are still going through the water, and that's creating quite a bit of slowdown. Let me go ahead and show that to you, Jessica.
I'm still slightly confused as to why there's not more emergency crews out here helping guide this traffic. Have you seen any presence of that so far?
Yes, actually, Jessica, just as you speak of that, we have a police officer on the scene, and he is blocking that inside lane. He's about 50 yards back from where the puddle is, and hopefully there are some more crews on the way. This is going to be a problem all morning. You know, this is one of our worst roadways when it comes to the commute.
Absolutely. This is about to get gridlocked in a matter of moments simply because of our rush hour commute, so we're keeping a close watch on it, and hopefully, again, some more emergency crews will arrive to help direct some of this rush hour traffic we are already feeling. There are some other road closures inhibiting the flow of traffic out there. This is one of those. Take a look at this. 35 at Salado Creek is entirely blocked off on those access roads as that creek continues to rise. Please, by no means, try to drive through this area of town. We have already seen one car kind of sink this morning and have to be dragged out. This is right around Splashtown, Samsey, and the AT&T Center, so could start to cause us a few extra issues not having those access roads available in that area. We will check out another area of roads, believe it or not, that's also a little bit with high water this morning, so join us in another few minutes with your on-time traffic.
All right, thank you, Jessica.
And Albert, I want you to talk about, we were talking about the high water on roads. It takes just a couple of inches of water to move a car.
Yes, as a matter of fact, you're right. About this much, just as it gets about halfway up the tire, and then you're done. So you definitely don't want to do that. I'm going to show you how much rain has fallen overnight across the area. I thought it'd be interesting to break it down. Leon Valley, 1.8. Helotes, 2.3. Lackland at 4.1. Balcones at 2.2. Castle Hills, 2.5. Stone Oak, 1.4. Alamo Heights, 2.9. China Grove, 3.2. Windcrest 2.0, Brooks City Base 4.0, but the big numbers were south with Somerset at 5.1, downtown at 4, and Buena Vista at 4.1. Of course, the oxygen and the nitrogen combining with the lightning made basically a little fertilizer that's coming down with the rains called nitrogen oxide. Everything's going to be very green in the next few days.
It's okay. Thank you, Aubrey. Yeah, coming up. The report card is in for the country's pre-K system.
We're going to see where Texas ranks in that report. Also, the major changes that some say need to happen to save our children.
You're watching News 4 San Antonio today with World Car Sky 4, the only helicopter up in the morning.
While you were sleeping, if you could sleep, we saw an overnight light show in San Antonio as lightning flashed all over the sky.
And that lightning's going to have a big payoff, though. And Albert is here to tell us why, because it's like Mother Nature's fertilizer, right?
It is, yes. It combines nitrogen, oxygen, makes a new chemical that then combines with the water and the rain and falls. And that's why your yard loves rain, because you get that little extra bonus. Plus, we're getting yet more rain. We've already had a lot of rain. There's the last big batch moving away. There's the close-up as it swept through San Antonio. But guess what? There's more stuff right down there by Carrizo Springs, Pearsall, Cotulla. I put it into motion. It is coming towards us. Rainfall totals, the big stuff was in the southern end of the city with 5.6 inches of rain. We're probably already going to exceed the record rainfall for the date. 68, that's it for the high today with north winds at 25. It's probably going to feel closer to 52. I'll let you know how much more rain we can expect.
Brr, we're in mid-May. Well, looking outside right now, that's the frontage road or the access road of I-10. It does have water, or excuse me, 410 near Ingram. It does have water over the roadway. We don't see any barricades up there any longer, but still, our advice is if you see water on the road, use caution, turn around, don't drown. Also, what you're seeing right now from World Car Sky 4, those are the main lanes, the inbound lanes of I-10 just inside of 1604. The water has receded. At one point, it was across at least 3 lanes of I-10. You can see a couple lanes still impassable there. Be careful if you're heading along I-10 on the northwest side.
All right, breaking news overnight. A new report card is out right now showing the state of the country's preschool education system.
It looks at programs all over the country, and Tracy Potts right now has been digging into this report for us. And Tracy, how did we do?
Well, actually, Texas has a bit of a mixed bag. There's some concerns with Texas, particularly with the quality of the programs. Let me give you the big picture first, though. I've covered this report for several years. It's the National Institute for Early Education Research. They look specifically at preschools. This year, they found 500,000 students, almost 500,000, in programs that they say are not of the best quality. Also, they found fewer kids, 9,000 fewer, in preschools, state-run preschools, than the year before. Remember, we're talking about publicly funded preschools here, not people who send their kids to local preschools that they pay for. Now, let's talk about Texas, because in terms of access, how many 3- and 4-year-olds are getting into preschool, Texas is in the top 10. You're doing pretty well. But in terms of quality, they've got some concerns. Of the 10 benchmarks that they set out, do the teachers have degrees? Do the assistants have enough training? Is there in-service training? What about the services like meals and vision screenings for the kids, and the class sizes and teacher ratios? Things like that. Texas only hit 2 out of 10 of those quality benchmarks. And then finally, we look at how much money is being spent. It's just over $3,300 per student in Texas for all resources. Some locals kick in the money as well. And that puts Texas at number 33 of 41 states that have preschool programs.
All right.
So we need a lot of improvement there. Thank you, Tracy.
Doubt. Thanks, Tracy. All right. Meanwhile, in battle, the L.A. Clippers owner Donald Sterling is in new hot water this morning for comments he made about Magic Johnson. Listen to what he told CNN.
Well, what kind of a guy goes to every city, has sex with every girl, then he catches HIV? And is that someone we want to respect and tell our kids about? I think he should be ashamed of himself. I think he should.
Right now, the NBA has banned Sterling for making racist comments, which he admits were a mistake.
Sterling's wife, Shelley, on the other hand, is trying to keep ownership of the team while also pushing her estranged husband out. But the NBA is fighting her. And she told the NBC Today show that she thinks that they are being sexist.
Would an owner's wife say the same thing? And would the owner be asked to leave the NBA? Or would they just say, well, she's only the wife?
You can see more of Savannah Guthrie's exclusive conversation with Shelley Sterling at the top of the hour on the NBC Today show.
And breaking news from overnight from the Panhandle, where right now about 2,100 people are in shelters as crews fight a wildfire there. Right now, that fire is about 65% contained, and officials say it looks good, but so far, that fire has destroyed about 156 structures, including 89 homes.
Happening tonight, Northside ISD board members are set to meet, and one of the items on their agenda includes attendance issues. Now, the district is considering whether to ask the state for a low attendance waiver. Now, it's possible that tonight's action is related to a wave of absences last month because of an unspecific threat to a San Antonio school. And ISD lost about $1 million on absences that were related to that threat. But the district can recoup that money by applying for a waiver from the state. And we're told that district staff has recommended approval.
There's a job tracker alert we want to pass along for military spouses. Employers are looking to hire you at a job fair. It's going to be tomorrow at Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland. It's running from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Experts will also be there to help spouses plan their own careers and build a resume. We've got a link to all the information you need, including how to pre-register. That is on our website, news4sa.com. Just click on the Get It button.
It is now 6:36, and here's a look at what's coming up on San Antonio Living today at 10. Big question, are you a beer geek? Well, this week is dedicated to you. It is Beer Week in San Antonio. Learn about local craft brews and breweries. Plus, if you have the itch to redecorate your home, start with your floors. Shelley will take you out to a place where you can get beautiful new wood floors at a great price. Watch that at San Antonio Living with Shelley today at 10.
All right, time to talk to Albert Flores. Albert, you are the man this morning. A lot going on overnight. What's happening right now?
Crazy, Michael. Here's what the last big batch now is cleared pretty much our eastern zones. So we're getting somewhat of a break after having anywhere from 3 to 5 inches of rain hit Bexar County. Here's the new stuff. One big batch exiting Cotulla, another one La Pryor and Uvalde. So more than likely, we're going to catch yet some more showers before the day is done. Rainfall totals in southern Bexar County, 5.6 inches of rain. Expecting, as I said, to see more. So as you're putting the kids on the bus this morning, keep in mind that even though it looks like we've caught a break, there is yet more showers in the forecast. How much more? When will they arrive? And how cool is it going to get with this front? I'll let you know.
Thank you, Albert. Oh, so much for a sweep. We're all hoping for that, but the Spurs need to take some steps in Game 5 to stop Portland's comeback. We'll have that for you coming up.
And don't forget, you can win a $100 gas card, plus be a finalist for free gas for an entire year. The way you can get your name in the running, that is coming up in just a few minutes.
You're watching News 4 San Antonio today with World Car Sky 4, the only helicopter up in the morning.
San Antonio gets drenched with intense storms overnight. This is the view from our road cam during the most intense downpours we saw while you were sleeping.
And right now the city is starting to dry out a bit and cleaning up from the rain. We have crews on the ground and in the air to help you know more before you go this morning. First, though, we want to begin with Albert, who's watching these storms throughout the night and now watching some new storms.
More storms. Yeah, well, here's the last batch clearing away. Then here comes a new pocket of instability out west, so we are not done yet. We had an unbelievable amount of rainfall overnight, 5 inches in the south side of town, 2 to 3 up north. Here comes another batch out of Cotulla, La Pryor, Uvalde. It's all sliding back towards us, so more than likely in the next hour or two we'll see more rain. Couple that with 50-degree temperatures and north winds with a cool front. Call it late season, early season, I don't know what you want to call it. It's just unusual. Low 60s and rain this morning, upper 60s and still more clouds and some light rain this afternoon. Of course, we saw the rain on the radar. We want to know how much more is going to arrive, when it's going to arrive, and how cold it's going to get. We'll cover all of that and much more. Right now, the roads are another issue. Let's check in with Jessica Headley and see how that is looking.
Well, in the wake of last night's storm and just the aftermath is doing enough to cause a lot of buildup and a lot of problems on our roads. Take a look right now. Here's what you're dealing with. This is 10 eastbound at 1604, live with our World Car Sky 4 helicopter. 2 main lanes closed because of heavy overnight water sitting on those main lanes since early on this morning. Eric Johnson has the scoop and the details on traffic. What can you tell us?
Well, I can tell you that we do have more emergency crews on the scene. We have flares out, so it's relieving a little bit right there where the puddle is. But you can see that this is way outside 1604, close to La Cantera and the rim and things like that. You can see that we have standing traffic on I-10, and it's gotten so bad, Jessica, that on 1604, you can see that we have slowdowns as well. If you come through this intersection either on 1604 or on I-10, look out because you're going to be dealing with a lot of delays.
And this is even before rush hour, before we see the typical gridlock. So again, heed those warnings, and if you have an opportunity, hit 1604 westbound or eastbound and take those Lock Hill, Selma, maybe Blanco southbound, maybe even Bandera. Those might be a better option at this point. We will show you some of that water here as he brings that camera over. We're trying to get down to it for you at this point in time. Again, just puddles sitting there as commuters try to get through. And again, it might not look that daunting, but it has caused enough issues this morning and plenty of cones scattered there. I want to take you to our maps as this is not the only situation. Look at all these exclamation points. These are either lights out or closures, especially there on the northwest side. We have this where there's flooding right there at 410 southbound frontage road at Ingram. We've already seen some cars get stuck and have to be pulled out of this. We also have high water at Zarzamora Street at Military on the southwest side of town. We have high water and it is closed at 35 on that frontage road, southbound and northbound at Benz Engelman as Salado Creek continues to rise. We will actually show you visual of that and just how dicey it is out there coming up in another few minutes with your on-time traffic.
All right, thank you, Jessica. Breaking news overnight, the intense storms we saw may have sparked a fire on the northeast side. News 4 San Antonio's Christina De Leon is live with a closer look at the damage.
Good morning, everyone. You know, we all heard it, the lightning and the thunder and the massive amounts of rain that we got. And now, speaking of firefighters, they do believe that lightning did cause a fire you're about to see. Let's go to the video. Firefighters say that they were able to contain the flames at the home on Fairway Hedge off Stall Road around 1 o'clock in the morning, right at the height of the storm. The fire was contained to the attic and part of the chimney. However, at this hour, the damage estimates to this home still not clear. Firefighters do not believe anybody was home. They did not treat anybody. There were no injuries as a result of this house fire, but you can see all the damage that was done in the middle of all of the storm. That is the latest reporting live here on the city's northwest side. Christina De Leon, News 4 San Antonio.
Thank you, Christina. Keeping the lights on has been a problem all night. Right now, we want to show you this live look at CPS Energy's power outage map. It's broken up by zip code. Right now, 19,000 people remain in the dark. Crews are out as we speak, trying to get the power back on.
Well, the storms overnight created a hazard on the roadways as well, and that kept police and firefighters very busy. News 4 San Antonio. Sylvia Rincon is now live in one area hit hard by the rain. Good morning, Sylvia.
Good morning. We've been out since before 4 a.m. We haven't experienced too much rain, but that doesn't mean rivers and creeks aren't overflowing still this morning. Now, we're here at Stall Road and Jung. This has a barricade up. We've seen the water recede. We've also seen cars go through this area. You can still face a fine if the barricade's up, even though it doesn't look that deep. The issue is you really can't tell with these puddles. That's the problem. So the message still from police and emergency crews, turn around, don't drown if you see some of these barricades up. There are several dozen still all over the city. Something to watch for as you make your way out. Overnight, there was at least one car that stalled in a low water crossing not too far from where we are here at Stall and Bell Drive. Emergency crews had to take that car out of there. Fortunately, nobody was hurt in that incident. As a matter of fact, the driver abandoned the car. Now, you can face some steep, hefty fines if they catch you crossing one of those barricades. Reporting live on the city's northeast side, I'm Sylvia on News 4, San Antonio.
Thank you, Sylvia. Time now, 6:46. Developing right now, a man is in the hospital after getting stabbed during an argument. It started at a boarding house on French Place near San Pedro last night. Police tell us a man grabbed the knife, stabbed the victim in the chest and the neck. Right now, that victim is in critical condition at a hospital. Another person was also cut in the arm. That suspect ran off, but police caught him a short time later.
It is now coming up on 6:47, happening today. Bexar County commissioners will consider a plan that could bring software giant Oracle to San Antonio. Now, Oracle wants to bring 200 jobs here over the next couple of years. They also want to build a new development center, but they do need some money. They need a $200,000 grant from the county, along with $1 million from the city. Well, today, county leaders will consider whether to put their share of the money up. And we are all over the Spurs right now as the Silver and Black finally got an opponent in the series. Portland showed up for the game last night, managing to take control of the lead and really keep it throughout the night. The Spurs got close in the end, but made a few critical mistakes, which cost them the game in the long run. Portland finished with the win, 103-92.
That's right. So what do the Spurs need to do to close it out in Game 5?
Well, for that, we turn to News 4 San Antonio's David Chancellor, who's joining us on the phone right now. It was a late game last night. We appreciate you getting up early. So what is it going to take?
It's going to take a lot of passion, a lot of passion, a lot of passion, a lot of passion. Apparently that's what Greg Popovich preached to the media last night. The Spurs just didn't play with any energy or passion, as he said multiple times. And it probably wouldn't help or hurt if they made a few shots. They were terrible last night shooting the ball, guys. They missed 15 three-pointers, and ultimately that was the difference.
And if you had to pick out who had a decent game, if we were terrible shooting, who actually was okay for the Spurs versus terrible?
Boris Diaw was pretty good. I think Boris was something like 6 of 8 from the field, so Boris had a pretty good game. Manu Ginobili, if you polled everybody on Twitter, Manu Ginobili had by far and away the worst game of any San Antonio Spur, and he had the real, I love Manu Ginobili, but he had one of those, oh my gosh, no, don't do that Manu plays. He fouled Nicholas Batum in the third quarter on a 3-point shot. Batum hit the free throw for a 4-point play, and that was part of that huge run in the third quarter when the Blazers went on to outscore San Antonio by 15 in the third, and ultimately that was the difference because Popovich sat Tim, Tony, and Manu in the fourth quarter. And that's the real bright spot, guys, going up for Game 5 tomorrow night here in San Antonio. Tim, Tony, Manu, and all of the starters did not play more than 30 minutes last night.
So they'll be ready to go to wrap it up here at home. Let's hope. Thanks a lot, Dave.
Thank you, David. All right, Game 5's tomorrow night at the AT&T Center, of course, here in town. Tickets are on sale right now, and you've been monitoring the sales of those tickets, have you not?
Of course, I always go to Spurs.com to see what tickets are available. The cheapest you can find right now, Section 218, $45 a piece.
See, you can go.
There you go. Tomorrow night.
Yeah, I could drop $45 because you're going to invite.
Oh, but of course. I mean,
he's buying.
That's what I was saying. I'm sorry.
No problem. I went to Nelson Elementary School. We told them this rain was coming. So I want to thank all the kids out there, big batch of them. Had a great time. Kids are very, very excited, want to know about weather. Of course, we took the Ancero GMC Storm Tracker out there. They love that probably as much as anything else. So thank you to Nelson. Took us a little while to get out there. We've been kind of busy going to schools. So thanks very much to everybody out there. Had a great time. Wonderful staff. Well, let's take you over to the weather. Watch how two systems combine right over San Antonio and bang, 3 to 5 inches of rain, and now more stuff is forming out towards the west. So we thought we were done, but another little impulse is fired off, and that, because the air is so saturated, will very easily, you have this cluster near Cotulla, another one by La Pryor, another one out by Uvalde. Some of this stuff is going to take another shot at us, probably within the next hour or two. Rainfall totals right here in southern Bexar County were amazing. We asked the computer to give us a total, 5.6 inches of rain. The yellow is 1 to 3, so we had lots of that over Bexar County. Rainfall totals are going to be, we already yesterday matched the record for the date. We'll see how we do today. Flash flood watch is in effect for the coast where the bulk of that big system moves away. On top of all of that, we have a cold front coming through. 50s up in the hill country, 60s here. it's crazy. We'd even be talking about a cold front in middle May, but that's the situation. That was, of course, the big trigger. We're looking for more scattered rain. You see it on the radar down here. Anyway, highs of only 68 degrees, which is crazy in itself. Low 60s for the hill country, a combination of sun and rain. Of course, the eastern zones are still clearing out the big, massive rain. They will get yet some more moderate rain later today. And for the central zones, we know it already exists here. It's going to push up into San Antonio, upper 60s this afternoon with some scattered showers. So we're keeping the chance of rain around 68 for the high this afternoon. North winds at 25 miles an hour. The thermometer may say 68. It's certainly going to feel at least like 55 degrees out there. That officially will be the low tonight. North winds at 20 miles an hour with a 30% chance of yet a little more rain. After that, we dry out, high pressure pushes in, and all this sunshine the rest of the week with temperatures finally getting somewhere near normal.
Thank you, Albert. Right now, we want to invite you to a very special event focusing on your health.
Saturday, May 24th is something you've got to put on the calendar. We are sponsoring the Health and Wellness Expo. It will feature several vendors who want to motivate you to make healthier living choices. Also, Dr. Oz will make a special guest appearance. And right now, you can submit your questions for him to answer. Go to our website, which is news4sa.com, and click on the Get It button. And we will all be out there, and we hope to see you there Saturday, May 24th. Well, gas prices are a bit high, and they're just not going away right now. But now you can win a chance to forget about them for an entire year.
How cool is that? Cleto is here to talk about that. He's also giving away gas cards of his own. Good morning, Cleto.
Good morning, Michael. That's right. I'm here at the Dunkin' Donuts on Northwest Military Drive. I've been here all morning and randomly picking some folks to go ahead and get a gas card. We have Eddie Martinez here and his lovely wife, Sylvia, who's on the phone and not really worried about what he's doing. But she has a sign there that she would to call right now, 470-5444. So here we go. And Eddie, this is the first time just showing up at Dunkin' Donuts. Now let me ask you, would you get, what, $25 gas? Help you out?
Yes, it would. It would help me out a lot.
You don't have to push that car back, you know.
That's it. It's hard walking, especially in this rain.
It's right. Well, I'll tell you what, congratulations on behalf of News 4. Thank you for watching. Now, what is your favorite Where's Cleto segment?
When you were at YWLA.
YWLA. Oh, for the dance team.
Right.
Oh, that was a while back.
That's my favorite segment.
Oh, okay. Wow, all right. Well, you know, had the moves like Jagger, you know. Jessica knows. She knows I have the moves like Jagger.
Moves like Cleto, maybe. All right.
Yeah, there you go.
Those aren't bad moves to have. All right. Moving along with our roads this morning, it might be a little gridlock. Take a look at this, 35 at Salado Creek. That storm definitely did some damage to our roads last night. This is the access road, and Salado Creek, of course, overflowing at this point. Those roads are closed, the access road, not your main lanes. This is right around Splashtown, Samsey, close to the 410 junction, so this could start to cause a little bit more of a backup. We are seeing it a little extra slow in this area, so of concern as well. Take a look at 410 on the northwest side at Ingram. Those access roads closed a while back, a ways back here. There are some emergency crews trying to keep you from going through here, but we've seen cars attempt it this morning and definitely seen a car or two get stuck and have to be pulled out. So although it's just an inch or two of water, can't warn you enough. Turn around, don't drown. Your car can sink in that. In fact, take a look at some main lane closures we are currently dealing with on the northwest side with our World Car Sky 4 helicopter and Eric Johnson monitoring delays at 10 eastbound at 1604. This is always gridlocked around this time, but we have seen excessive gridlock this morning because of this. Eric, can you talk about what you are currently seeing?
Well, I'm telling you right now, Jessica, this is going to be here for a while. It's creating quite a bit of backup. If you give me a minute here, I'll go ahead and show you. We're all the way past Ralph Fair Road, a steady gridlock backup on I-10. This is outside 1604, and you can see that people are just at a complete stop past Ralph Fair Road. Anyone that comes in from the Bernie area or gets anywhere on I-10 coming into the city, look out because you're going to be dealing with some very serious delays here and on 1604.
And you've also seen more emergency crews kind of come and help aid with some of that travel in the area. If you need an alternate route, which by the looks of this, you'll definitely want one, consider taking 1604 westbound or eastbound over to Bandera, down to Lock Hill, Selma. We will continue to follow this over on Fox 29 for the next 2 hours and also show you some other areas of your roads where we not only have some high water, but also some accidents breaking out. So join us also on our social media feeds and over on Fox 29 for the next 2 hours with your on-time traffic.
Thank you, Jessica. Before we go, here are 4 things to know today. The Spurs could not close out the series against Portland overnight. They ended up falling 103-92. Game 5, though, is here at home at the AT&T Center tomorrow night. Tickets are on sale right now. And today, Arlington National Cemetery will commemorate its 150th anniversary. Officials plan to place a wreath on the grave of the first soldier buried there. And nearly 5 years after his death, Michael Jackson's family is releasing an album of previously recorded music today. Jackson recorded the songs during the 80s and 90s, and producers reworked them for this brand new album. And former First Daughter Jenna Bush Hager will be the keynote speaker at the San Antonio Salvation Army's banquet today. The San Antonio chapter is also celebrating its 125th anniversary. Now here's Monica and Ernie.
Well, good morning. Puffy tacos, sopapillas, cups of guacamole. See, your chance to win one of 2 gift certificates to enjoy delicious Mexican food at Teca Molino.
Plus, got gas? Another chance for you to win $100 worth of gas cards.
All right, see you in a few minutes, hopefully, for Fox News First.
Here's a live shot from our World Car 4-zone camera. It doesn't look too bad outside, but more rain is on the way. So keep your umbrellas handy. There's your 7-day outlook. After today, an absolutely beautiful set of days.
And we will update you through the NBC Today show that's coming up next. Have a great day.